What's up, guys? Petzergling here with Daz, bringing you the final game of Group H. Another TVT. We have fOrGG versus gogo, and fOrGG just playing really excellent that last game. I mean, I think really C lost that game more than fOrGG won it. I mean, it really wasn't much of a good play. It was more of a everyone take a bunch of bases, then just sit there, and then C made a move, and then fOrGG beat it. So I mean, we really weren't demonstrated fOrGG's ability, and I think gogo, you know, sure, his decision making. I mean, look at that! What an awesome sign that fOrGG has. I mean, all of his signs are just awesome. Like 29 and 13 in TVT. I think that's the season, or it might be the entire MSL so far, but I don't know. 9 and 10. Yeah, that's only TVT. So fOrGG, a huge favorite, and you know, he's just been looking real good lately, and his TVT is definitely really good. And I mean, compared to gogo, I mean, gogo played okay versus C. I mean, I don't think gogo doesn't have a shot, but just for sinking 2-1-0. So yeah, so we got Byzantium 2, a little bit different from what we've been seeing. I would, you know, although this is a pretty big map, I wouldn't call this a real spread out map. So we might see an interesting game here. What do you think?
I think it should be pretty interesting. I mean, gogo did a lot of things right against C. He definitely played the map really well and abused some of C's poor decision making. Although he's definitely going to have to show better unit control and better unit positioning. I mean, you just can't lose battles like that against, I mean, in professional StarCraft and TVT, you just cannot throw away units like he did a lot of points in that game. fOrGG with his win against C looked pretty strong. I mean, neither player really did a whole lot. They just kind of sat there. But when the game came down to it, fOrGG made a great move, getting a whole bunch of wraiths and doing a massive kind of doom drop with Goliaths and wraiths and taking out all of C's BCs at once. So that was a pretty good move by fOrGG. He didn't let those BCs trick him or anything. So nothing really special, but well played. Both players starting off standard here, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I believe that is fOrGG in the top left and gogo in the bottom right. Neither of them building a forward barracks or anything. So we're probably going to see a pretty standard game here. Byzantium, Byzantium, nothing really special to say about this map. It's a pretty normal map for TVT, other than the fact that the ramps are inverted and your base is on the low ground and the naturals on the high ground. I don't think that's going to play much of a factor anyway, considering it's the standard to FE. So I mean, you're going to be starting off playing high ground versus high ground right from the get-go. So I don't think it's going to be much of a difference here.
I have the 1,337th view on this video. I just want to point that out. But yeah, so both players.
No, I do actually. We both.
Oh, do we both? Well.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I guess
so I don't feel special at all now. And
I think it's a sign, man, that we make a good team.
Yeah, we're elite team. So
see?
I'm surprised actually. Wow, I think fOrGG is yellow. Yeah, so fOrGG actually kind of built his barracks more of almost like a TVP location. He didn't really build it off to the side for more of a lift-off. You see how kind of gogo kind of built it more to the outward corner of his base to lift off. And fOrGG kind of has it, you know, next to his CC, almost closer to his ramp. So it looks like he may, you know, he's not going to be able to deny the scout. Gogo did get lucky where he did scout fOrGG early, and right away gogo actually, he sees the factory and he runs away with his SCV, not even trying to get into his base. And I wish we could see a little bit of the action there. And fOrGG pulling pulling SCVs off gas. So, and yeah, gogo actually moving his SCV away, not taking it into fOrGG's base, and fOrGG scouting gogo right away, and fOrGG offensive SCV trying to get that marine. That's not really something you can do at a pro gamer level, is kill somebody's marine with an SCV, and losing the SCV there. fOrGG, I think both players actually were kind of a little bit strange there with their SCV, and fOrGG putting SCVs back on gas, I believe, and putting down a second factory, and so is gogo. So both players immediately not scouting, then immediately denying scout, and then taking a second factory. So both of these players are going to go for more of a one base, two factory aggression build with probably some early tanks in siege mode.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad to see that. I mean, I would have thought that, you know, we would see some FE like it was standard, but I'm glad to see. It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, they're both two-facking, so it's going to come down to a lot of control. And especially if one of them goes for siege tanks, it's definitely going to come down to where you siege it up. I mean, I hope one of them goes for siege tanks. I think that's a really strong build that we just don't see that very often. But like, let's say, well, I don't play much TVT, but what would happen? Let's say if one of them went for Vulture Speed Mine and the other one went for siege tanks. Who would have the advantage there? I mean, how would that really work out?
Well, you really can't go for Vulture Speed Mine against another 2-factory build. I mean, really a 2-fact tank build versus 2-fact Vulture Mines just isn't effective. And we see actually fOrGG producing some Vultures alongside his tanks, and gogo putting down a second machine shop going straight for tanks. It'd be really interesting if fOrGG is researching something like Vulture Speed or Mines, and he decides to go for like some sort of crazy attack here. Well, not really crazy, but definitely not standard. Usually you really don't see very much 2-factory builds. I mean, Leda likes to do a lot of really heavy 2-factory, yeah, and that barracks, really nice positioning there, spots the early tank, and he has to imagine, even though the vultures went around the side, here comes fOrGG with his vultures. We haven't got a click on him, so we still don't know exactly what he's upgraded. I have to presume, oh no, it's mines. So fOrGG going for a mine push here, moving up, but what fOrGG doesn't know is that gogo actually went for the second factory as well, and it's going to be up to Micro here whether fOrGG can pick off any of these tanks with the mines. Getting cornered, they're losing one tank. The second tank is going to go down. Those 2 Marines are helping a lot for fOrGG. Moving forward now, mining up gogo's right outside of the factories. Really nice positioning though of the factories right next to the refinery, so the siege tank actually pop out under that position. So kind of, you know, I don't want to say lucky, but I can't imagine he had this in mind, where it's really difficult for fOrGG to place mines where the tanks are going to pop out because of the way they're positioned. And now Academy going down for gogo, so he's really going to look out breaking these mines, and I have to imagine that fOrGG is going to be content here. I think he canceled the building there, putting down a starport, so not even trying to expand. So looks like both players still content on staying with a 1-base build here.
I think that was really well done by fOrGG. Really good control and kind of some mistakes from a slip up from gogo to let both of his tanks die. He definitely should have retreated those tanks right away. Oh, he's going to go try to break out with SCVs here. Oh man, this is really getting really crazy. Oh, he got the siege tank. I don't know if it was a good idea to siege right there, considering all those SCVs were on the way. A lot of vultures coming out for gogo, but okay, so gogo's actually managed to break out really quickly with, I believe those are speed upgraded vultures. That was a pretty good move by gogo. That totally salvages the game for him. If he had gotten contained right beside his natural, it probably would have spelled GG right at that point. He still has a shitload of mines there, but he's focusing completely on speed vultures. Oh, and these vultures are going to get a surround on the tank, and they're going to be able to mine that tank up. Oh, I guess not. Wow, well done by fOrGG, picking off the mines with his vultures. That was almost a disaster for fOrGG, so, I mean, really well done there. A whole bunch more vultures coming in, but the tanks are unsieged now, and unsieged tanks versus vultures is just not even a fair fight. They can't do anything. But both players coming up with good moves there, but fOrGG again coming out on top. Given the fact that he really didn't lose very many units there, only lost 1 vulture. He's going to avoid these mines here. Oh, he got hit by a mine. That was really bad. It actually splashed damage on the tank in the back as well, so that was really big. And gogo actually getting his expansion out first, but fOrGG actually did build a Wraith out of that 1 starport, so he's going to do some Wraith harass here. I don't imagine that he's going to do a lot of damage, especially if he doesn't go for the SCV. I have no idea why he's going for those vultures. You're probably not paying attention to that. He's going to definitely want to try to pick off that SCV. Yeah, he's doing it now. He wants to delay that expansion as long as he can. That's really what he's going to get the most effect of out of that Wraith, is just kind of picking off the SCV and not letting him get the command center up. I think that, I mean, if he keeps picking off this SCV, it's going to definitely have been worth it, because he's going to get his expansion up so much earlier. But I'm not looking at the minimap. It doesn't look like he's even started yet. So that was, I don't know what he's waiting for there. It's not really worth it to try to keep building Wraiths. Okay, he's got a Goliath out now, so these Wraiths aren't going to be any effective anymore, especially considering that gogo already has Comstat. So gogo pretty ready for this. Not any more damage going to be done by the Wraiths here. I mean, gogo's command center is going to be up a little faster now, but he's a little bit behind on tech and a little bit behind on army as well, because he lost all of those vultures. So it looks like fOrGG is slightly in the lead in this game. I mean, what would you say in this situation?
Well, fOrGG has the Wraiths, and it's going to be up to if he can do some damage with the Wraiths. I mean, he did take out a few SCVs, but one thing I want to point out was with that break that gogo did versus fOrGG, I mean, that was... I'd have to assume that Siege